fancy friends, welcome back. We are back for another we're back for another little conversation, discussion, roundtable, open dialogue, if you will, about mental health. But today we're going to be talking about two of my favorite things. So not only mental health, but traveling and mental health. Because if you know me, you know the girl love a trippy trip. Oh, thank you. I'm excited about the discussion too, my kid. Because you know I love to travel, girl. Know I love a little trippy trip. Literally just was texting about a trip before I got on this live, honey. It's somebody's birthday and they invited me on a trip and I will be in attendance. So I do want to break this up into segments, okay? So this first portion, we're going to be talking about travel as like a mental reset, right? So when you travel, you are breaking your normal routine. Like whatever you do day to day is interrupted with this trip, right? So that in and of itself can cause a break in the negative loop. So let's talk about what the negative loop is. Well, I can't say everybody, but let's talk about me, okay? I have a 9 to 5. I work Monday through Friday, almost 8 hours a day. Okay, that is a lot of your time. It's a lot of time. So I find myself sometimes feeling overwhelmed and like I am just getting really burnt out with going to work every single day. It just seems like every single day. Hi, Zachy D. It seems like every single day. Even though you get 2 days off for the weekend. Hi, Amber. You get 2 days off for the weekend. It still feels like you're going every day. So it can put you in kind of a funk if you are a person who craves, just a little spontaneity, a little something different in your day, you know? Something outside of the mundane. And so that's how you can get caught in a negative loop, is by just every day is exactly the same. You're just doing the exact same routine. And so travel can break that negative loop because you are stopping that routine, like stopping it cold in its tracks, going to do something new, see something new, completely tune your brain into something new. So yes, my kid said you saying a trip breaks your regular routine brought her clarity. It definitely does. You need that break in regular routine. I'm telling you, you really need it. The new environments give your brain a boost. So it gives you like that hit of dopamine that we're always craving. It can also give you a hit of creativity. I know, like, it could be times where I have not been recording content or I have not been on socials, but if I go on a trip, even if I'm not posting, I'm gonna record videos. I'm gonna I don't know. I want pictures, I want videos of where I'm at for memories, like for my own memories. And so even if I haven't been active on socials, if I go on a trip, I know I'm gonna create content. It's just what I'm gonna do while I'm there. And so that for me is always a bonus because I need to be creating content, y'all, all the time. Okay. How you gonna be a content creator if you don't create the content? Yeah. But traveling as a mental reset is giving you that reset because it is breaking your normal routine, giving you that hit of dopamine, that energy boost, that boost in creativity that you need. And it can start to feel like, it can start to feel kind of like a palate cleanser. Like, this is something that I just need to do and I can move on to the next thing. And so, and so, and so, at that point, you're able to go back to work feeling refreshed or go back to your normal routine feeling refreshed, feeling vibrant. Like, you've truly had a break, truly had a rest, because sometimes you can get a little, start to feel a little burned out from that regular routine. We're going to move into perspective and emotional growth because, honey, some of the comments, we need to talk about emotional growth. Um, so obviously, if you are traveling outside of the country, but I'll even say traveling within the US. So I'm in the US. I'm a US citizen. And I've traveled to different states. And even going to a different state, it feels different. You're in a different environment. You are introduced to whatever the culture is there. Okay. I'm in South Carolina. We have a culture here. It's things that South Carolinians we do. We know. You from here if this is what's going on in your mind when this is happening. And so other places that I'll visit, like I've been to Texas and Vegas. I've been to quite a few states. Those states all have their own culture, their own vibe, their own little thing that they're known for. Me, I love trying different foods whenever I travel. So I'm looking for all the good eats, okay? I also like activities, so I'm gonna explore the city, see what the people are like because people give different vibes in different places, different states. The people give different vibes. I feel like I always meet friendly people in Florida, like people who will just stop, talk to you, have a whole conversation, help you out with whatever. I feel like I meet people like that in Florida a lot. And like I've been to quite a few different parts of Florida and it's been the same experience. So I'll just put it on the whole state. But if you are traveling abroad, then you're definitely gonna get that exposure to different cultures, see how they live, what they do over there, how their system, communities, and governments work. Because a lot of systems in other countries are completely different than our systems here in America. And so instead of just assuming or thinking that you know what it's like living somewhere else, you could just actually go see for yourself. And you never know. It could give you a sense of gratefulness for the things that you're afforded here as a US citizen. And it can also help you to see where our system could be better as well. So travel often helps people reframe personal problems. They feel smaller or clearer. Okay, example. I am from a small town. And in that small town, it seems like everybody knows everybody. So you kind of feel like everybody knows, like it's just you don't feel small, okay? You feel very seen. And so going to college as a freshman, I went to USC in Columbia. It's a huge campus, a lot of people. I felt small. I was like, oh, this is the best thing. Like, I loved it. I'm like, nobody has to know me here. I don't have to, like, I can literally be invisible. Not really invisible, but you know, hey, nobody's like, they don't know me. And so that was a great feeling, very liberating. It allowed me to be very free and figure out who I was, who I wanted to be, what I liked, what I didn't like. And so I think that you get that same feel going to a new place. Nobody knows you there, you know? You get a chance to just have a fresh start. You get a chance to just be or explore whatever part of your personality you feel like exploring that on that trip. Like, it's very freeing. And so I think that when you're in a mindset, when you're in a relaxed state of mind and you're feeling free and you're feeling just amazing, like you can do and be whoever, you get a different view of your problems. It allows you to reframe how you may be looking at certain situations and thinking about certain situations. And so you get a sense of clarity that you may not have gotten sticking with that everyday routine. And for me, that is a big part of why I like to travel, because it opens my mind up in different ways. Going back to that creativity piece, it just really opens my mind up, gives me some clarity, helps me feel better. I have a trip coming up at the end of this month. I already felt like I was so ready for the trip and I really needed the trip, but literally after the last 24 hours that I've had, I cannot wait to go on this trip. Like, I really, really need to go on this trip. Like, I cannot wait to just get that little bit of time, away from my regular routine, break it, get some new, just take in some new air, honey. Take in some new air to just clear my mind and reset. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. Granted, there's always things you can do at home. That's another live for another day, okay? We're going to go ahead and jot that down. Because, see me, I have to take a good note, baby, because I will forget. So we're going to move on to stress reduction and presence. So we already talked about how travel can reduce your stress, right? Just because it's giving you that break from your everyday routine, giving you that break from the mundane, but also tapping into learning, exploring, experiencing adventure. All of those things can reduce stress levels. It's giving you that happy feeling on the inside, or at least it should, or it does for some people. I can't speak for everybody, but it gives you that happy feeling on the inside. And so that is naturally lowering your stress levels. It's just like if you engage in a conversation with a stranger and they maybe compliment you or make you laugh, it shoots you a little piece of dopamine that reduces that stress. It gives you a little shot of happy, and it reduces stress. And if you don't know, stress is no joke. That's the silent killer right there. People really, really will stress themselves into sickness, illness. Yes. But travel encourages mindfulness. Unfamiliar places force you to be present because you're gonna be more alert. You don't know anybody here, especially if you're traveling alone. I have done solo travel and I can tell you I'm looking at everything and everybody, okay? I mean, nothing has ever happened. In all honesty, nothing has ever happened. I've never had a bad experience. I've never had a time where I felt like something was gonna be bad or happen badly. And so I can't speak from that perspective, but what I can say is that I am still on alert. I'm the same way whenever I'm in America. I mean, I just watch my surroundings when I'm alone. And so it's no different when I'm traveling But that does cause you to be present, be very in the moment. Whenever you are experiencing tours and different things like that, and maybe you're in a tour group that you paid for or something, you get a chance to kind of set that guard down and relax, because there's more people around now who are also, you know, gonna be looking for you because you're in a group with them. And so that gives you a chance to be present. Even for people like myself who enjoy creating content, you can get your content and still enjoy yourself, honey. Get the little video, snap a little picture, and then just hone in and enjoy your moment. um I know for some people, I've had people tell me in the past that they love to go to the beach. That's like their thing. That's their stress reduction. If they can just go to the beach once a week, they feel so relieved, so untensed, so less tense. It releases their tension. That's a better way of saying that. It releases their tension. But yeah, and just makes them feel very calm and relaxed. They're able to be present and at peace at the beach. And I enjoy the beach, not for that reason. It doesn't always give me that feeling every time I go, but I do enjoy it. I am more so, I like, okay, y'all don't, keep it cute. But I like the forest. Okay. I enjoy like hikes, walks, waterfalls, you know, like to look at those. Those give me a sense of peace. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I do from what I know from experience about myself. I love a waterfall, and I love like a hike through like a forest looking area. That is what kind of reduces my stress. Some people, like mountains, maybe. I'm not a fan of the mountains. That drives my stress up. But some people that relieves their stress, they like to be in the mountains. Everybody is, different, but there are definitely nature-based travel that you can do, slower travel styles, taking longer stays or having those longer walks and hikes to reduce the burnout. Whenever I'm traveling, I feel like I discover more of myself, discover more of who I am. With that being said, we're going to go into identity, confidence, and independence. I don't know if you all have ever been on a solo trip before, but let me know in the comments if you've ever done solo travel, if you would ever be interested in doing solo travel. And if so, if you have done it, how you felt about it. When I solo travel, I do feel a great sense of independence, because obviously I'm self-reliant during that time. Everything is dependent on me, even my directions. And as a person who can sometimes struggle with sense of direction, I feel very accomplished and very independent and very pleased when I'm able to navigate unknown areas on my own without assistance, of course, with my GPS. Okay, I use the GPS faithfully, but I also utilize the people around. I know how to act and get to where I have to go and maneuver. I learned how to ride the train last year. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, okay? I am from the country. I am not a city girl, okay? But I be in the city. So I learned how to ride the train last year, and I was so proud of myself. I literally was taking the train by myself and not getting lost. Okay, one time I almost did, but the people helped me get to the right one, and I caught it, and I did not get lost. So yeah, 1 out of all times that I took it, I did a great job. So I do feel that sense of independence, solving my own problems, trusting myself. It just builds my self-esteem. makes me feel like a very big girl, okay? I say that like I'm not fully grown. I'm literally fully grown. But I won't get into that because that's not your business for real. And it's off topic. So, solo travel can strengthen identity and confidence. It definitely does it for me. Let me know if you think it does it for you. Successfully handling challenges like missed trains or language barriers reinforces resilience because I am a Google Translate girl. We'll pull out Google Translate in a second. Okay? Because yeah, y'all, very minimal Espanol, okay? Very minimal, like just enough to the for somebody to know I know a little Spanish. That's it. That's it. I do not have a second language. That's something that I would like to do. I would like to learn a second language, like be fluent in a second language. We are watching I Have My Phone Today. Hi, thanks for tuning in. But yeah, so that's something that I would love to do is learn a second language, but I don't know any other languages. So when I'm in other countries, sometimes there are language barriers and Google Translate helps. But what I will say, the majority of places that I've been, there are a good bit of people who speak English. So if you can't speak the language there, there's somebody that can speak English that is there. And you're like Paris, listen, you better say bonjour, okay? Don't just walk up and start. Even though no one was rude to me. Everybody, was very nice and spoke English to me when needed. But they do just assume that you know French. Like they're coming up off the cuff. You feel me? Just they think you speak it. Okay. Wish I did, but I don't. So they did have people that spoke English, but that is the primary language. So just so you know, everything is in French. So Google Translate was my friend when I was over there. So in Germany, oh, some places they don't. There might be one person that speaks English. I feel like that's why I want to go out of the States. Yeah, like you definitely should go out of the States. It's an experience for sure. Um, it's gonna test your resilience, okay? But you can do it. You can do it. All you need is handy dandy Google, and you will be all right. They have Google Translate, so you can read signs and different things like that that are in another language. And then they also have Google Translate with the audio, so that you can communicate with the actual person and be able to like order food or different things like that, because I'm telling you, some places there might not be anybody there that speaks English. And so you're in their country, you really can't, like, why would you be upset? You're over there, okay? And so you have to make do with what you have. And so it just shows your resilience, and it shows your strength. um if you have never been out of the country, I would recommend Mexico first, because Mexico is fairly affordable. Certain parts fairly affordable. Also, most of us at least know hola. If we don't know anything else, we at least know hola. That's hello. If you didn't know, hola is hello. So, you know, I would say start with Mexico. Most people in America enjoy Mexican food. Now over there, it tastes better. It's authentic. For Mexico, I would say um Right, Buenos noches. You're correct. Good night. But for what parts of Mexico, I would say look at, if you're cruising, Cozumel, because I know people love to cruise. But if you are gonna fly or any other mode, I would say look at like Cancun, Turks and Caicos, Cabo. Those places are fairly inexpensive. You can travel to those places for a good affordable rate. Now, if you are just balling, baby, then go for what you know. You don't need my help because me, I ball on a budget. But yeah, so those would be the places that I would recommend. Like, okay, I'm looking for like a place I can see is land from the room. Yeah, you can get like a resort in which parts of Mexico have you been to? I've been to Cozumel. Cabo is on my list. I might be there this year. Don't hold me to it because we got a lot of stuff on the itinerary for this year. But that is one of the places that's on my list for this year. But Cozumel was a great time. Drink the tequila. If you sorry, if you're able to drink and you drink, okay? Drink responsibly. But the tequila is very good. The tacos, listen, the tacos. I know we think we be making tacos in our kitchen, but I'ma tell you, the tacos that they making over there, we ain't got nothing on them. The Mexican restaurant up the street ain't got nothing on them. You never been out of. I never been out of state though. I'm scared. So I would say start with going out of state first. That's what I would say. Start with going out of state. Like, don't try to just jump the gun and, because before I ever stepped foot out of America, I had already been to several states. Several states. Shout out to my mother because she started me traveling very young. My first time on a plane, I think I was 12. So that's not that young, but like still fairly young. So shout out to her because she took me. We went to Detroit, y'all. We went to Detroit to visit my aunt, and I ain't looked back since. I've been wanting to go somewhere ever since. Okay, love a trip. Telling you, love a trippy trip. But that's the thing, and that's he said never been on a plane, and so that's the thing. If you know you've never been on a plane, you know you have never traveled out of state. Start with what you're comfortable with. Like maybe driving to another state. Like maybe you should start with a road trip and just drive to another state. That's still giving you that break in routine. That's still giving you that new experience because it's somewhere you've never been or seen before. You get to try new foods over there, meet new people over there, and so that same experience of newness, that same sense of clarity, that same sense of being present and in the moment to reduce your stress, you can get all of that from taking a road trip to another state. Go an hour and a half up the road or 3 hours up the road, however long you feel comfortable driving, and just see what another state is like. That's a great place to start. If you're somebody who has never traveled before, never been on a plane, never left your state, start with what you can. Start with just going to another state, getting in your car, or you can take a bus, train, and just go to another state. Stay over there for a few days, 3 days. 3 days is really all you need. My trip at the end of February is 3 days. I just need a little quick reset, and I'm gonna be back. Okay. But yeah, that road trip can give you that same thing because in the times where I couldn't go to another state, I couldn't get out the country, I will always hop in Diamond and hit it to another state, get me a little hotel room, and just stay over there for a weekend. Come back refreshed. I needed just a new atmosphere. I had to get out of the routine. I had to get out of my house. And I'm a person who loves my house, okay? It's my sanctuary. Nobody lives here but me. Love it, okay? Love it. It's my peace. It's my happy place. My peaceful place. So even I, as much as I love my house, need to leave sometimes and go see something else and be in a different environment just to give myself that reset. Oh yeah, I did. Yes, that breaking routine is definitely needed. But I would like to say, as much as I love traveling and as fun as it is, and as much of a stress reliever as it is not a cure-all. It does not. If you have been diagnosed with a mental health disorder, or if you know you struggle with certain mental illnesses, struggles will not disappear just because you change locations. That's gonna travel with you. It's a part of you. And so up and going to a new city or a new country or anything like that is not going to change. If there's something really going on, if you have something real happening that you're stressed about, that is not going to just magically fix it. It's not a cure-all. It's not a magic pill. And then if you are a person who is struggling with anxiety, travel can sometimes feel overwhelming for you because all the planning, the booking, the traveling, just everything that is encompassing it, the planning, the crowds, the money, jet lag, it can trigger your anxiety. So sometimes that's not the best way for you to relieve that anxiety or make yourself feel better. What works for one person may not work for everybody. So travel as a method of improving your mental health may not work for you, and that's okay. There are plenty of other things that you can try. There's just a difference between trying to run away or escape and intentional travel. That's the distinction between if it's gonna feel stressful and anxiety inducing, because I have my issues with anxiety, but when I'm traveling, it can be moments where I can feel overwhelmed with everything, but I'm so excited about being able to go. I'm willing to, I'll get through. It'll be okay. It's not like gonna be a lasting thing. I just have to complete this task and I'll be okay. And I'm gonna enjoy that trip. And so I think being, like I said, just intentional about where you're going, why you want to go, what's the need for you to take that travel. And like for me, my why could be different depending on the trip. It could be different depending on, because like I said, I have a trip I was invited on right before I hopped on this live, and it was for somebody else's birthday. It's a pretty big birthday. And so, yeah, I'm going to go on that trip. That has nothing to do with me, nothing to do with me needing a reset. That's just me showing up for somebody. And I'm still going to enjoy myself because I love a trippy trip, love to travel, love to see somewhere new. So even with it just being for me to support someone I know, I'm still getting something out of it because I'm going to get that mini reset. I'm going to get that, so sometimes dropping everything is worth the trip. For me, it's always worth the trip. Because, like I said, I love a trip. I love being able to get into a new environment, see new people, try new things. Just that is, it does it for me. That is what I need to just woosah, just breathe. You know, that's my deep breath. And so it could be different for somebody else. That may not be another person's deep breath. That may be another person's anxiety attack, you know. It just depends, like I said, on why some people travel to try to run away, right? Like they feel like, oh, I'ma up and move to this new state and it's gonna solve all my problems. Everything is gonna be great in life, and every problem they're gonna take right with them to that new state, because you're gonna take yourself with you everywhere you go. So like I said, travel is not a means of escapism. It's not a means of running away from your problems, because when you get back, because it's just a trip, you know, unless you up and move, it's just a trip. So you gonna come back home, and when you come back home, whatever you running from gonna be right there waiting for you. So that's the reason why I use the word reset in the beginning. It should be used more intentionally, more for just that no matter where you go, there you are. Yes, my Kia. Yes, no matter where you go, there you are. It's so true. So true. Because you can't escape you. Just do the work. I know it's hard. And I know sometimes we just don't feel like it. I know. But every time you don't, it's going to come knocking again. So you might as well do it. You might as well do it. It's not going to leave you alone. Like those same things that you are refusing to work on are going to keep rearing their ugly head in your life until you decide that you are going to tackle it head on and pull it up by the root. Got to pull it up by the root. Get it out of there. That's my problem. I have to take like 2 extra days after the trip to come back to reality. That's funny that you said that. That's funny that you said that. That is one of the portions that we're gonna cover, but and we can just skip there now. Coming home and integration. So those post-travel blues, right? It can be emotionally challenging to like get back in work mode or get back in routine mode. And so sometimes for me, yes, I do take an extra day or two before the trip and after the trip. Sometimes, you know, I mean, it just depends. But I would say do what you need. If you know you need that day in between to just get your rest, get your energy levels back up, prepare your mind to go back to your regular routine, do that. Who said you can't do that? Do that. It's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with it. Take the day. Take the 2 days. Recuperate and show back up ready to tackle it the next day. I think that we have to be okay with giving ourselves rest and giving ourselves grace. We all need rest. Rest is a part of being healthy. Rest is a part of self-care. Like, you need rest. It's not illegal. Nobody's gonna beat you. Nobody's gonna beat you for taking a nap. I wake up sometimes still looking for hot coffee and breakfast. Well, you're gonna have to make the hot coffee and breakfast, but it's okay because you can still have it. Okay? But yeah, it's okay. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to rest. You do not have to be work, go all the time. That is gonna drive you into the ground. It's gonna drive you right into the ground. Not good for your mental health at all. Extreme burnout is gonna come from trying to work yourself into a frenzy. It's no point in doing that, because I'm gonna tell you a secret just in case you didn't know. You will not get rich on these people's jobs. Unless you making, upper echelon, baby. That ain't my salary. But if it's yours, tell me what you do and help a sister out. Okay? I ain't hating. I'm trying to get the tea. I'm trying to see what's up. Tell me, put me on. But yeah, I would say, take the break. There's nothing wrong with taking a break. You're not going to get rich on these people's job. You can take a break. Even if you work for yourself, still give yourself a break. Even if you don't, because I know people who work for themselves feel like they have to be just constantly on it. Okay? They say that is like worse than a 9 to 5. And I guess eventually when I'm in that lane, I'll know what that experience is like. But right now I can only talk from what they say because I'm only a part-time entrepreneur. That's not my full-time. So they say, they feel like they can never shut it off. And I feel like that's unhealthy. Like, we got to at least give ourselves 24 hours, At least. That's the bare minimum. A day. Half a day? Half of 2 days. Like, half this day and then half the next day. However you got to do it. However you got to break it up. Just give yourself a break. It's okay. Nobody's going to beat you, I promise. Nobody will beat you for taking a break, for taking a risk. You will feel better. Your body will hug you. We're going to go back to access, privilege, and pressure. I was telling you guys, shout out to my mom for, putting me on to traveling early. She turned that into one of my loves, right? I got to recognize that early. Oh, this is something I love to do. And I recognize that, no, seriously, Makia, you can have a break. Okay? You can have a break. Self-employment is a whole job of everything on you. That's true. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's not a lie. Until you able to build that team and develop that team, it's definitely all on you. But yeah, I recognize that travel is often romanticized but not equally accessible. And so that's the reason why I wanted to be sure to talk about some affordable ways to travel, because like I said, I be balling on a budget, baby. I know how to get a deal. Look at all-inclusive resorts, especially Mexico, all-inclusive resorts. Great way to keep the spending to a minimum. They'll have people out there doing excursions. Negotiate. Okay? The only place that they frown upon negotiations in business is in America. You can't go to the Chinese restaurant and negotiate their prices. They are firmly set. But everywhere else that you go in this world, negotiate the price. The price is never firm. When you talking numbers, it's a conversation. Michael B. Jordan from Sinners, aka Smoke from Sinners. Yeah, it's a conversation. You gotta negotiate. Y'all, okay, off topic, but I watched Sinners like 2 days ago for the 5th time. I saw it in the movies like 3 or 4 times. I gotta be stopped. But I love that movie. It's such a good movie. If you have not seen Sinners, go see Sinners. Completely off topic. But yes. Social media can create pressure to travel perfectly or constantly. Forget those people and enjoy your trip. Okay? Don't worry about them because they're not on your trip. And I'm going to take it a step further and say, if somebody on your trip showing out, have a good time anyway. Hey, is anybody who on a trip upset, they are the problem. How you upset and we on a trip? No. Unacceptable. Everything should be good, light, fun, and a great time. I don't agree with getting upset on the trip. No. You're going to be upset by yourself. Because me, I already paid and I'm going to enjoy this trip. I don't care who else enjoy it. That's your business. That's your personal business. But me, I'm going to get my money's worth and I'm going to enjoy my trip because I paid to be here. So don't let social media dictate how you travel, how you feel about traveling, which is just like I said, take you a road trip. I have YouTube videos on my page of a road trip to Atlanta, Georgia. Okay? It's nothing wrong with it. Get it how you live, baby. And have a great time while you at it. Okay? Intentional travel for well-being. You never had that one friend that overdo it and did. That's why I can tell you from personal experience, because I did have that one friend who, thought that they was gone. They thought they were bigger than the program, baby. That's the best way I can put it. Thought they were bigger than the program, but one thing about it, and two things for sure. When I done paid my money, I'm telling you, it's your business, whatever you got going on. I promise you. I promise you. Yeah, it's your business. Whatever you got going on, it's your business. Because I'm going to have a good time on this trip. I'm going to need for you to, whatever you got going on, let's just say that for when we get back to the mainland. Because out here on the island, we doing island things, okay? We doing island things. It's not a time for attitude. It's not a time for conflict, okay? It's a time for enjoyment. It's a time for relaxation. It's a time for light fun, okay? Light fun. We not here to be but intentional travel for well-being. So that will come with, I feel like, planning your excursions. So like, you just kind of want to set the tone for your trip. Whatever excursions or whatever types of things you like to do. Like for me, whenever I'm planning excursions for my trips, I'm usually gonna do something that is culture based. So something that is teaching me about the culture of that place, whether it be whatever their primary religion is or their history. I'm gonna go somewhere that is gonna teach me something about the culture of the place that I'm at. That's always one of my excursions. Another excursion is my adventure excursion, okay? I have to do something adventurous. I have to do something fun to give me that adrenaline rush. I just like it, okay? If it's something that I've never done before, bonus points. We definitely like that. So like my first time going whitewater rafting, a treat. Had a great time. A long hike to get there, a great time though. We'll do it again, okay? We'll definitely do it again. And so and then I have a creative excursion, something that I maybe like to do, like an art museum or a photo booth or anything like that, that's gonna get my creative juices flowing or make me feel like I am being creative. Like this past time, my trip to Houston, I made a perfume. And so yeah, that got my creative juices flowing. It was fun. I like doing that. But anywho, those are some of the excursions that I go for. I'm also more than likely gonna set some time aside for rest, reflection, and connection with myself. Anytime that I'm on vacation, I don't overload every day with excursions, because I need that time to just some downtime to relax, take it slow, take it easy. And so that first and my last day are usually just my slow, kind of go with the flow, easygoing days. Hey Javandi, I did not know that was you. You should have been told me that was you. Long time no see. Listen, y'all, Javandi, that was my dog back in high school. I used to love me some Javandi. Now I still love me some Javandi, but that was my dog back in high school. We used to be tearing it up in Miss Whaley class. But so choosing travel styles that match mental needs. So like I said, packed itineraries versus slow itineraries. I am a double it up type of girl, depending on my trip too, depending on the length of my trip. I may be able to, do a 2 for 1, have some slow days and then have some adventure pack days. But there's also times where maybe this is just a slow trip altogether. I'm not right. He said we venting now. But yeah, like I need a reset. I just need this slow time. I need more connection. I need more focus. I need to be more present. I'm looking to rest more, reflect more. And so this is just a slow trip. I'm not trying to be adventure packed and do everything and try everything and see everything. I'm here to just give myself that mental break, relaxation, and reset. And then there's trips where I literally barely sleep. I'm here as an adrenaline junkie. I am here to pack in everything I can pack in on this trip, have the time of my life, and then go back home. Like, it just depends on what type of vibe you want and you're needing at that time, honestly. And so, for some people, they need those rest days along with the adventure pack days or the activity pack days. I do like trips where I can integrate both, but like I said, that usually depends on the length of the trip that I'm going on. If it's a shorter trip, might have to decide one or the other. But if it's a longer trip, then I can mix and mingle. And now we get back to our final section that we skipped to earlier, thanks to my friend Javandi. Sometimes it's just the getaway versus no sleep all weekend. Facts, yes. Coming home and integration. So, growth from travel matters most when integrated into daily life. So, like I was saying, those times that you are seeing things that you like when you're out traveling, like how I discover I love a little hike through nature when I'm out traveling. A way that I can get that same feeling locally is just going to one of my parks, hitting a trail at the park, walking through that foresty area, and it'll give that same feel, that same sense of just calm and relaxation that I need and that I get from doing that when I'm traveling. I can get that home without having to travel too far from my home. And so it goes back to, people who haven't traveled much, just kind of easing yourself into what you can do. Travel can inspire long-term lifestyle changes like prioritizing balance, curiosity, and boundaries. And I 100% agree with this because traveling, expanding my knowledge, expanding my mind, opening my eyes up and my mind up to new cultures, new ways of thinking and living definitely helped me to grow, to feel like a more balanced person. It cured that curiosity that's in me that just wants to know, learn all the time. I just have that innately. I love to learn and grow. I don't know. I cannot turn it off. It's like constant. But and then also too, establishing boundaries, because whenever you're traveling, a lot of times it's got to be a firm yes or a firm no. You can't play the whole vague in between in the gray area game. You're going on the trip or you're not. You're paying for the excursion or you're not. There's no in between. So many trips, I must say, like an hour out by a lake. Yeah, that's definitely a mini trip. An hour out by the lake is a mini trip because you had to drive to the lake. And it can also, like I said, create that sense of peace, give you that nice little reset. And so I would say, just to kind of wrap up our discussion, I would say that for me, travel helped me to discover things about myself that I may not have known without being put in some of the situations that I was put in. It definitely helped me to increase and grow my patience, my emotional intelligence, my communication skills, my ability to create and enforce boundaries. Traveling reinforces those skills, and it allows me to practice them each time that I'm taking a trip. And so it's been quite an experience. And sometimes traveling alone, some people say that they feel lonely whenever they're traveling alone. And I think that that's very possible. You can feel lonely if you are constantly on the move, different places by yourself, and you don't have anyone ever going with you. I have done solo trips, and I thoroughly enjoyed my solo trips. I've also traveled with other people. I've thoroughly enjoyed the majority of people that I have traveled with, and so um, I haven't experienced loneliness. But for those that do, I would say seek connection with with the people and the places that you're going. So if you go there again, you have somebody there that you kind of know and that you kept in communication or contact with. Um, Relationships are tricky. Relationships are tough. Adding travel to relationships, whether romantic, platonic, family, it's always going to be a task because money is involved. You cannot count people's pockets. People are only able to do what they're able to do, and you have to be able to accept that and be okay with that. So, I mean, it can be like a lonely it can feel lonely because you're doing everything on your own sometimes, but it just is. Basically, pros and cons. Does that feeling outweigh the joy that you get from experiencing a new place? You know? Um, Finding peace in new places, taking care of your mind wherever you go is the main point and purpose. You can definitely meet some good-hearted people because there are good-hearted people everywhere, and literally you'll meet strangers who will help you faster than some of the people you know at times. And so, like I was saying, finding peace in different places and taking care of your mind wherever you go, that is what I want our overarching theme to be. That is the highlight. That is what I want us to take away and remember. That even if your trip is not out of state, out of the country, even if your trip is only down the street to the park, even if your trip is your walk to your mailbox and back to your door, take that moment to be present. Take that moment to really just relax, clear your mind, take care of yourself, tap in and see what you're feeling, what you may be in need of. Acknowledge yourself in that moment because the little things go a long way. Taking that deep breath throughout the day is helping your nervous system, it's helping your lungs in ways that you can only imagine. When iPhone gives you that look, I mean iPhone, huh? The iWatch, the Apple Watch. Y'all knew what I was trying to say. Brain fart, Apple Watch. When the Apple Watch gives you that little notification to breathe, really do it. It really will make a difference in how you're able to regulate yourself, how you're able to keep yourself more balanced, more grounded. It really will help. And so, same thing for wherever you're going. You have to be able to give your mind a break, give your mind a rest, turn some things off. Giovanni said, I sit on my porch in the morning with a cup of coffee. That could do it. That's a mental reset. That's how you starting off. I'm starting off in my calm, happy place. That's going to help me tackle the day. Nothing wrong with that. That's great. Morning sound like to me. I wish I could always have a slow morning. Some mornings I get a slow morning, but on gym mornings, I do not. I wake up quite early to go to the gym before I go to work, and I feel like I'm just hustling and bustling when I do that. But on the days I don't have to go to the gym and I can take my time, yeah. Favorite mornings. But, well, I can't say favorite because I do love going to the gym. But either way it go, I make it work for me, okay? My life, it works for me. But we are coming up on our hour mark. So you guys, you know what that means. I'm gonna let you all go. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you engaging with me in the chat. Just remember, I ain't gonna tell you what to do, but I'ma always tell you what it is. Fancy MJ is out, baby. Good night, y'all.